Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Shea Marriott from Rebirth Podcast. Check out our new episode tonight and make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
It's your time to renew, rebuild, and restore. Let's go.
Happy Monday. Welcome to the Rebirth.
Yo, happy Monday. What's up, Shay?
What's good? What's good? How you doing?
I'm well.
I'm good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rebirth. How you doing?
Hey. What's going on?
There's somebody over there on the other side.
Yeah.
He's trying to hide.
Yeah, I've been on the couch for like 4 weeks sleeping over here. You know what I mean? Feel at home. But no, happy Monday.
Yes. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Shea Marriott.
And I am your boy, Eli Isabel, a.k.a. The South. Got something to say?
And I'm just Corey. I ain't got no tagline.
Yes, you do.
What the thing is?
You know
Oh, that what it is? I got this something slick.
That's officially you, bro.
Okay.
I'm trying to act like you don't know your name.
Corey, you got something to think about. Flow like something else on the side. I gotta figure it out.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Happy Monday.
What's up, guys? I would say how was your weekend, but we was together all weekend.
We was.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Tim Dog for an amazing event on Saturday night at the Riverfront in Wilmington, Delaware, the all-white party.
Yes.
Want to talk about that a little bit?
Let's talk about that, man. Listen, as I said on Saturday, there's nothing like seeing all black folk and all white.
Right.
The contrast and having a good time. Definitely a dope event and an event worthy of us doing more. After talking to you earlier, I wish we would have done more than what we did, but a dope event honoring Tim's daughter, Layla Byard, who he lost back in February. People did show up and they showed out on her behalf. Donations were made, and there is now a scholarship fund.
Yes, it is.
In Layla's name, which was a goal.
Yep. Christiana Culture Center. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. We had a good time though. It was hot.
It was hot.
It was definitely hot.
It was hot. The devil was negative.
Yeah. We let me take these pants off.
That's what we doing now?
Oh man. But yeah, we were using that rag and them tissues and you know what I mean?
Was I the only one that danced? I feel like I was the only one that got
my feet was hurting too bad for me today.
Oh God. It was a good look though.
It was a good time. We had a really good time. The music was great. We met some really cool people. Shout out to what was the ladies' names that was doing the dancing with the fans? They was your favorite.
Flop. Yeah.
About that does something to me.
And she kept popping it too.
It's the thing though. It triggers me in a sensual way. I'm telling my age when you start with the fan gets you.
It might have been the heat that was getting to you. You popped that fan out.
Right, exactly.
That second Long Island Iced Tea in the heat.
That wasn't good.
My friend.
It was great. And what I loved about it was all ages. I mean, it was all ages.
Yeah,
it was definitely all ages. The grown and sexy was definitely there.
When the invitations were in the building.
Yes.
So if you missed it,
if you missed it, you can check out some of the footage on our Rebirth page on Facebook. You'll be able to see some of the things that was happening and going on.
Yeah. What about the ladies that were from New York? They were together, but they were all 70, right?
Yes, they were all. One of them was 69, and she was ready to turn 70 in September.
Yeah, right.
And they've been friends for so many
elementary
years.
school.
And they were on a girls' trip.
Yeah.
They were on a girls' trip. They were really cool. I enjoyed interviewing them.
How did I miss them?
You were inside, probably. Try to close out your tab.
Who still keeps the card?
Yeah.
Who still keeps the card?
Yeah, that's true.
Still keep your card.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's true.
Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you guys are just joining us, welcome. Please give us some hearts. So hello in the comments. So guys, we are so excited because finally July 20th is coming.
In the building.
Rebirth Meetup is this Saturday night at the Chancery, guys. And guess what? We only have 2 tickets left. Seriously. We have 2 tickets left. I posted it earlier. So if you have not gotten your ticket and if you go on the website, you may still have an opportunity if those 2 tickets are still there. If not,
Oh well.
With us, man.
I don't know what to say.
Our people be supporting us, man. You got to get in where you fit in. Get it, especially do it early.
Yes.
For sure.
We are definitely excited about that. Brielle Michelle will be our vendor, our special vendor that evening. And she has some amazing candles that smell so good that she makes herself with love. So we definitely want everybody to come out and support. And we're going to be there. The Rebirth team is going to be there. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be a mix and mingle with like-minded people. So we hope to see you there this Saturday. And bring your little fans because I'm sure it's going to be hot. I don't know what the weather's going to be, but this is a rain or shine event. So even if the weather doesn't look good, we will move it inside. So don't let that stop you. But bring your little fans. If you got the little portable ones, bring them.
I'm bringing my little industrial orange cord, and I'm bringing a fan from the fan.
Actual fan.
I believe you too. I believe you are.
It's not gonna be as hot. It's supposed to be 84 degrees.
My little wicker
in front of yours. You're not sharing?
Well, no, I suppose. What am I supposed to do? What you want from me?
All right, okay.
I shared the orange cord with you. Has a couple of problems.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, so right now we're going to go to what the South got to say.
What's up, fam? Welcome to another edition of What the South. The South got something to say. I'm listening to you. The South got something to say.
See what women do to you?
Throw me all the way off. Listen, y'all, we were all together Saturday, and as we partied, former President Donald Trump, there was an assassination attempt on his life at a rally that he was having in Butler, Pennsylvania, a suburb about 30 miles north of Pittsburgh. Now, I don't wish death on anyone, of course, because that's final. There's no coming back from that. I do know that the political violence, the nature of it has actually been simmering for the last 10 years here in this country. And 8 of those years, Donald Trump's been involved in the political scene of this country. If we go back to the last 10 years, just recently, last year when Nancy Pelosi's husband, somebody broke into their house and hit her husband in the head with a hammer. From that, go back to January 6th, which he totally incited, and had those people go down there. The mob went down there and destroyed the Capitol. And then fast forward to Saturday, someone trying to get at him and killed an innocent person. And 2 other people ended up injured. We got to simmer down in this country. It's definitely out of pocket. It's out of hand. We are more divided than ever. And I think we've always been divided, but correct me, and you guys tell me later what you think. I just feel like Trump has definitely made the wedge bigger since he has been involved in politics. And I don't even know if Donald Trump is really a racist. I think Donald Trump plays to the voices in his ear that's going to get him what he wants, and which is power and, of course, money. Somebody said to me yesterday, they said that Democrats run for office to become rich. Republicans run for office to keep their friends rich and to become rich. So where does that leave all of us in the middle that are just out here, regular people every day trying to make it and live? And we are now in the midst of these volatile American politics as innocent people. I would never go to any rally.
I hope not.
No, I would never go. And
I hope not.
Just simply because of the nature of things are. And I have to give former President Trump a lot of credit, some credit. I'm going to say some with not all, but some credit for the way things are. He has continued to fan the flames of violence since he was running against Hillary Clinton. Even back at his early campaign rallies, when people say, whoop his ass, knock him out, I'll pay your bill. He's telling people he came in the door on this.
He promoted violence.
He has promoted violence the last 8 years since he's been a candidate or running for office. And so I think yesterday, to me, in the words of Brother Malcolm X, was the chickens coming home to roost. Everything he's done and said, and the things he's tried to charge his people up to do, somebody almost got him.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate thing about this, and again, I don't wish death or hurt on anyone, but the unfortunate thing about this is going to propel this man to the presidency. I really believe. him standing there bloody, and he's so calculating. As he was trying to stand up, he was like, wait, let me get my shoe. He still wanted to be his narcissistic whole self, even in that moment. He did not want to be drove off stage without his shoe on. And so you're now putting the Secret Service life at risk. You're putting other people's lives behind you at risk because you want to get your damn shoe on. They're trying to get you into the SUV where you will be safe. What are you doing?
Yeah.
This to people who support him and to people who were like in the middle, this is a rallying cry. This presents power to them.
Yeah.
That he's going to be a much stronger president than Joe Biden. And I think this is what's going to put him over.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
So,
what are your thoughts, Corey?
I mean, I echo what Eli said. I think the thing for us is that we have, I'm definitely not a Trump fan. And I agree. He's definitely propelled violence and celebrated. You think about some of the school shootings that have happened. Obviously you talked about Nancy Pelosi's husband. Just some of the things that he's kind of just talked about when other people have unfortunate incidents. He's not fanning, stand down, when he talked about the Proud Boys, right? And some of those things. What I will say though is the fear also for me is the copycat syndrome that we have in this country, right? Whether it's another attempt for him or they would go after Biden because, within minutes they were blaming Biden and saying the Democrats sent him, or you see some of the tweets that go out and says, Joe Biden sent the order or whatever it was. It's stupidity, right? Stupidity. I do commend Joe Biden for being the leader that he is and stepping up immediately and saying we got to condemn this. And he called him to make sure that he was all right. You know what I mean? And that's what leadership is. Whether you disagree or not, your goal is to make sure that everybody else is safe. And and unfortunately, like you said, there was a gentleman that lost, who was a retired firefighter or volunteer firefighter, just turned 50 years old. So that was a shame. The other side of that is that there's a feeling going around that this was staged, right?
Yeah.
Heard that also.
I went down that rabbit hole yesterday, right? So like I did. I got caught out there with going into, like, if you go back to the show Scandal,
right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And very, 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 very close contrast to certain things that happened on that show to what happened with Trump on Saturday. And one of the things that I tried to find the clip, I just couldn't find it. And I didn't want to record it from my phone all ghetto, right? On my TV. But one of the things they shared, and the quickest way to win votes is to fake assassination, or and then obviously B613 was Olivia's group, right? And this was when they were trying to figure out what happened to when the president got shot at his birthday party, and they're trying to figure it out, like what's going on. And one of the things that gentleman said, he said, we know the CIA and all of these things happen, but there's another level to this where things that nobody knows, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes people have to die because this is what's supposed to happen, right?
Absolutely.
And again, I'm not saying that's what happened, but when you take a step back and I'm not like, I don't go down these rabbit holes of like conspiracy theories. It just looked crazy to me, right? You hear the people on the ground saying, yo, we literally watched this dude crawl up there with a rifle. He's 150 yards away. The Secret Service goes out there days before. They pan out over 1,000 yards. Right?
Exactly.
Any rooftop, any of these things, and you just telling me that, and people are saying, like, we're literally watching him go up there. We're telling the police, we're telling the Secret Service, look, and they're just not doing anything, right? And you're telling me that this bullet, he just happened to turn like this, and it grazed his ear. His ear would not be there, though. Did you see? And I don't know whether I didn't verify whether
they
the
said
bullets that they
it
showed,
was glass from the camera that really hit him,
right?
Not the bullet
right
itself.
Of course, right? So again, and then to your point, when you said he stands up and he's putting his fist up. This is even before he got to the truck.
Oh yeah, he did it on the stage.
Yeah, he did it on the stage, and he's talking about fight. What are you doing? What are you doing? Right? You don't know. Well, I guess they knew that they took care of the target at the time, but you don't know. He didn't know, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know how many shooters could have been possibly out there, and the people that are behind you. You know what I'm saying? It just looked crazy, and you just never know the extent that people will go to for power, right? This is a big deal for that side, just like it's a big deal for whatever political party that you represent. But it's a very important election, and what I will say is that stay focused. I think that if you're on the Biden side, you would be a fool to take your focus off of Donald Trump.
Right.
And I was watching some of the clips today, and it kind of talked about don't get caught up in the fact that you can't still come at him. Everybody is grown enough to understand when you talk about doubling down on him, you're not talking about promoting violence. Biden has already said, Vice President has already said that this is not what we want. But you still have to remind people of who he is, what he is, and how, to your point, how we got here.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. So it's just crazy. It was crazy.
It is. It really is. It's scary to me, and I know a lot of people are feeling that way as well because they're not really sure what this is going to look like.
Yeah.
But, just keep praying.
This man is going to try to stay in office once he gets back in there.
Yeah.
Like there is no.
Yeah,
he's trying to do the dictator thing.
And then you see the today, and don't quote me on the court that did it. I don't know if it was Florida, Georgia. I'm not sure where it was. But they dismissed his case when it came to the documents.
That was Florida.
Yeah, it was Florida, right?
Oh, the judge that he put in.
Yeah. The judge he put in. So they dismissed the case around the documents. So it's all set up for him to be who he is, right? And I was on my way to work this morning. I was taking a train into Philly, and we get to Wilmington, and it's like, stop. All these cops get on the train. I'm like, yo, what the world? So I looked to the left of me. I'm like, the dude looked at me. He was like, yo, it's too early for this shit. Right? So I'm like, so do we? I'm about to get off.
Right.
And then I'm just really thinking about this. Literally just happened. The Republican convention starts today, right? And yeah, we're in Philly, and but I work by City Hall, right? You just never know how people are, what people are thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it definitely creates a level of cautiousness and thought. But I think that we just have to stay focused and make sure that we show up.
And calculated fear for us too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that helps people vote. That dictates how you vote too.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're in an America that's not safe, this man is saying, I'm law and order. I'm going to protect you. And look what happened to me. But you know what I mean? Like that dictates. It plays on people's emotional strings.
For sure.
And that dictates what people do in the ballot ballot box too. It's a wild time.
Yeah, and he's announced his vice president today too, right? JD Vance, who hated him.
That was crazy.
Hated him.
That was crazy.
So like the whole campaign is full of lies. People back and forth. They don't. There's no stance on anything, right? It's just it's insane. But it should also propel the other side to get serious as well.
We gotta vote, and that's the bottom line. Like, don't think that your vote don't matter. Vote. Because if you don't vote, that's a vote for him.
For sure.
So, go out there and vote. Thank
vote
you.
for whoever you want, but
I just said vote.
Yeah.
But vote for who you want, but vote. But my point is, if you don't vote,
shut up.
Right?
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, we're gonna move on. We got a good conversation coming up. I don't know if you guys saw the movie yet. But if you didn't see the movie, Divorce in the Black, you might not want to listen to the next part of this, because it will definitely be a spoiler alert. But we are going to break down the movie coming up after this message. up, everybody? I'm coming to you today to talk about our sponsor, BKL. She makes some amazing body butters. Right now, I am trying the Cocoa Glow, okay? It's time to get the glow on for the summer, honey. Not only is it smooth and creamy, but it smells amazing. So make sure you check out BKLBeautyLLC.com. Support her and let her know that the Rebirth sent you.
All right now, it's time to get the glow on.
Welcome back. Shout out to BKL. Thank you for your sponsorship. Make sure you guys check her out. Black-owned business. She's doing her thing. Her body butters. Her body butters smell good. They're very creamy. They're very creamy. So check her out. BKL Beauty LLC.com.
We like creamy.
Yes.
Butters.
All right. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in tonight. Shout out to Eileen. Shout out to Ayana. Your baby girl. Yeah, your baby girl's on here.
I can't see this.
Shout out to Simone. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. So again, we actually get ready to have a conversation about the movie, Tyler Perry's latest movie that he dropped. But again, I want to reiterate, guys, if you have not purchased your ticket, go to rebirthview.com. It's only 2 tickets left. I don't know if they're still there, but it's for this Saturday event at the meetup at the Chancery on Market Street from 6 to 9.
Come out, a grown and sexy event. We're going to be fly and chilling and, doing what we do.
Just a relaxed type environment, summer vibes, outside, listen to a little bit of house music.
House music. Huh?
Yeah.
Take it back to Chicago.
Hey. Yes.
About that.
So.
That side of the couch. Grown and sexy. Chicago music. House music. Me and nobody. We'll figure where the aux chord's at.
There's one somewhere.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be somewhere.
We're gonna have you going, mingling with the crowd.
All right.
Conversation
going. Handing out aspirin.
So,
See the house music.
It's gonna be a good time. Some people have asked, is there a dress code? There is no dress code. All I'm gonna tell you is it's probably gonna be hot. So make sure that you are dressed to,
ladies, wear as less clothing as you would like.
What?
I'm just going to put it might be a little warm.
Whatever you want to wear, guys. Just whatever's going to make you feel good inside and show your best self. So that's what it's about.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. It's 84 degrees Saturday.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
I can rock with it.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're going to get into this movie. Corey, would you like to start us off? Because you had a whole lot to say about this movie.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
So, so for the movie itself, so like I watched it yesterday, right? And I gave it a 7 out of 10, right? I gave it a 7 out of 10. But I think the thing with the movie was, people criticized the Tyler Perry movies and saying they're super predictable and you already know what's going to happen. And you're right. Right? Like as soon as they pulled, spoiler alert for people that ain't watched it. It turned on 10.
That was hilarious.
Right? I've never seen somebody, she said, go get them. We thought like they thought, take the casket out.
Right.
And we leave it. No, take him up out the casket.
That was wild.
That was the craziest thing I ever saw, right? So overall, I think the movie was a 7 out of 10, right? It was good to see Megan Good back in front of the camera. Which I thought was dope. Forget the other gentleman's name. His name's Corey, I think it is.
Yeah, Corey Hart.
Corey Hart. Yeah. So I think that was Tia Tamara's ex-husband, right? Yeah. And then it was definitely cool. I don't know who the young lady was that played Megan's best friend. I thought she was really good.
She was hilarious.
I thought she was really good. But I say all that to say, while I felt like the movie was predictable, it was entertaining. But I think there was a lot of jewels that happened in that movie that was good for, I said yesterday, a case study, number one. And I don't know if it's case study just for our community or it was a case study for everybody, right? But it was a lot to have a discussion about. And I, at that point when I knew what was going to happen, right? And I was like, all right, let me just start taking notes. What triggered me? And I went on a rant yesterday. Like I was like tripping. When the trip was over, I was just like, all right. right? So like a couple of things that I wrote down, right? So obviously the mom, well, before I get into that, y'all saw it too.
Yes,
How
I
y'all
watched
felt
it
about it?
twice.
What were y'all thoughts?
I saw it while I was out sick. I watched it. Typical Tyler Perry, of course. The beginning threw me.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, me too.
he went way left.
Yeah, he did.
He goes left.
Yeah.
He went way left on that. I mean, it. I think that people in this movie, like Corey Hardrick, for example, he, and I guess because of how he was raised by that tough mom he had and no father, I don't know what that dynamic was, but he took zero responsibility for how his relationship ended up.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like he was in some kind of weird denial.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't see why she does not. And I guess he had it hemmed up for so long, he didn't ever think it would happen. And one thing I know about when a man loses a good woman, boy, they're a mess.
Yeah.
Bro was a mess. And when a woman's fed up, there's
nothing you can do about it.
There's no coming back.
Yeah. But he stood out because he just took zero responsibility.
Did you see that?
What you say?
I'm just saying, when a woman is fed up, it's like, it's done. She's done.
She did that little device. She put the shoulders in it.
She done.
Yeah, she done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bro took zero responsibility.
Yeah, for
which
sure.
is crazy to me.
For sure.
So, of course, what had him so jacked up was his mother made him kill his father. So that's what made him. You missed that. That's when he was drunk. When he had came home. He was drunk. He had been drinking. They was in the bathroom, and she sat on his lap, and she was trying to get him to talk. And he started opening up.
Okay,
that's what he said. His mother made him kill his dad, and that's all he pretty much talked about. So he's stuck there,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So some of the feedback that we have been hearing, other than a typical Tyler Perry movie, is again the depiction of Black women. A lot of people felt that Megan Good, our beloved Megan Good, who we seen when she was small, when she had crooked teeth, playing in a
First Friday,
and the Bayou,
Big Worm. I hate you.
That was her.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember Grown Megan.
Do you remember Eve's Bayou?
Yeah,
she was the little girl that played in that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Megan Good has been around for a very, very long time. And although she played, I think she did a great job in the movie because she's a good actress. They felt that she should have been depicted a different way. She should have been the character that she would have played should have been someone that made us look proud as Black women. So that has been the feedback that has come back with some of the reviews. So we can start with the mom, because I know you kind of broke it up with the different characters. So what was your trigger?
Trigger, huh? Oh,
you said you said it triggered you.
Okay.
You
what was
said
your trigger,
it
brother?
Triggered you.
What was your trigger? Picking Black men. Okay. No, as you kind of walk through the movie, there was a couple of key moments, and one of the things about Tyler Perry, it's like the movie needs to be like 20 minutes longer, right? Because he leaves parts out where you have to like put the pieces together, and I don't know whether that's intentional or whether they're like rushing it. I don't know what that is, but like if the movie is 20 minutes longer and he filled in some of the gaps because you heard things and you assumed things happened, but you never really saw it play out. Right. So one of the things that stood out with the mom when they were talking in the living room, her mom, I guess, found the letter that her friend wrote. So her friend wrote her a letter with all the things that happen. You always need a friend, right? You write out all the abuse that happened to her. So she wrote it out for her, and her mom, I guess, found the letter, and she's reading it. So her mom's crying. Megan comes in, or Eva, she comes in to the living room, and she's apologizing to her mom. Oh my God, you read the letter. And she's like, how come you didn't tell me this was going on? Mom, I didn't want to burden you with this, so on and so forth. And one of the things the mom shared was, what hit me was, she said, we've had such a close relationship, but I was so busy tied up in church that I never told you enough how proud I was of you.
Right.
Right. So and then obviously, and then we'll talk about the dad in a second, but that was telling to me, right? Because I think that, and I don't know what the saying is, and I totally meant to look this up, and maybe y'all already know it since y'all on that couch, at the experience couch over there, right? So the saying is talks about how it's about mothers and their sons and versus their daughters, right?
Mother loves their sons and raise their daughters,
right? Right, and I don't know if that plays out. It made me think of that, right? Because she thought that, why wouldn't my daughter come and tell me this if this was happening? Right. And she immediately took responsibility, which I thought was dope, and said, you know what? I never really told you how proud I am of you. Because she was shocked, like this was happening under my nose, and I just had no idea. Right. But she said, what you told me, Mom, stay married. Don't leave. Right. I see how you all with daddy and you're in the church. Right. And stay in your marriage, be strong, be there for your husband. Divorce is not an option. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes people take that to the limit. And one of the things that kept sticking out for me, she says, well, baby, what's your finish line? Or the dad said that. I think he might have said it. Right. So just for that moment for me, it's just like that hit me. It's like, wow, you not telling her that you're proud of her. Did that play a role in that? Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But what do y'all think about that? Just like the mom dynamics.
Go ahead.
That was a powerful scene.
I was just gonna say, I think that mom plays a traditional stay-at-home mom first lady role.
Yeah.
And there is a box that these women tend to stay in, and they don't come out of that. And Megan's life was outside of that box, and mom could not see it because she's never stepped outside of the box. She's luckily married a great man who appears to treat her well, loved her. They had this one child. They doted on her. But I think sometimes, let me see, I can say this without being offensive. I typically don't care about being offensive. I think sometimes the black church, as much as it has helped our people, it has handicapped us.
Yeah.
Because we sit around waiting for some kind of, you have to do things. Okay, you can pray and all that, but then you have to put, actions to work.
Right.
And I think a lot of times we sit around in our community and we wait for, to come down and save us when you got to use a little common sense. And I think because of mom's spiritual foundation, it made her blind to the stuff that her child was going through.
Yeah.
Not that she didn't want to be there for her. She just didn't see it.
Yeah.
And you ingrained in your child, don't leave, you stay, you fight. This would not be appealing to God if you get a divorce. And you figure all of that's been reinforced in Megan's mind prior to her probably being a little girl and prior to her even thinking about getting married.
Yeah.
And now you're in a marriage, and a crappy marriage, and here you are.
Yeah. And one of the things that she called out, because again, he leaves moments out of the movie, right? You didn't necessarily, you saw the abuse in terms of how he spoke to her.
Yeah.
Verbally abusive, obviously, mentally abusive, and emotionally abusive. But she read some of the things that she had been through, obviously, historically. I think they were together 17 years. Or however long they were together. She said, I'm reading it, like, he put his hands on you, he spit on you. Like, what are we talking about? Right. So, like, these things, and you're staying through that. And she's like, I just love him. And I'm just like, wow.
I don't think love is what kept her there, though. It was. And I think so that's the part that stood out for me, was the embarrassment and the shame that's there. And even if all of those things is not going on, and you're someone that's going through a divorce, or you're going through a hard time in your marriage, it can be shameful. It can be embarrassing, especially one or two things. If people are looking at you thinking you're the perfect couple, or in their case, they didn't want her to marry him. They told her not to marry him. So for her, it was just like, I don't want to prove them wrong. So I can't tell them. It's not, I don't put it, I don't want to prove them right. I don't want to put all of that on the mom and say that she missed it, because it was the daughter who kept it from her. She should have said, hey, this is what's going on. Hey, this is what's happening. But no, she kept going and kept going and kept going, thinking that things was going to get better. And things, it didn't. And in real life, that's real. Yeah. Sometimes it don't get better, but you can be so embarrassed and shameful that you don't want to tell, your family. Now, connect the church with that. because her father's a pastor.
Yeah.
Right. So the pressure of, not appearing to be an abused person, abused woman, and trying to keep your marriage together, that was a lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah. And what you'll call out too is that it was a small town, it seemed like, and everybody knew all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Obviously his side of the family, from the guy's side of the family, bad boys, he had brothers, right?
Yeah.
And obviously the mom was wild.
It's always a family like that in a small southern town.
You know what I mean?
Everywhere.
Yeah,
Definitely down south.
Right.
You fight one, you got to fight all of them.
Yeah, yeah. And they had already beat the other guy up already, right?
Yeah.
But I think that was a good point where you talked about it's a split responsibility per se, right?
Yeah.
You can't put it all on the parent, because we're all parents here, right?
Right.
We carry that responsibility and that burden for always protecting our kids and seeing everything. But there's things you're just not gonna see.
But Corey, don't you think that as parents, like, little things we miss is one thing, but our daughter's whole emotional self being transformed, and with this abuse she's receiving, I don't know how continuously miss that. I think they were married like 10 since high school. They had been together forever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Benji kept talking about
I don't think they missed it. That's the thing. They didn't miss it. They know that it was a bad family. They know it was a bad marriage. They just didn't know the extent of how bad it was. They knew it was bad. They just didn't know it was that bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But here's the thing, right? And I want to be very clear and also very mindful of what I'm ready to say. When someone is in an abusive situation, it's easy for people on the outside to be able to say, won't you just leave? But it's not that easy. It's not that easy, right? Especially when you're dealing with someone like that character. You know what I'm saying? They rip you. They take everything away from you mentally, emotionally. They make you think you can't make it on your own. It's all kinds of stuff that happens that keep that person trapped in that situation, right? So we can say, oh, it's just leave, or just say something, but you never know unless you're in that situation what it's like and what's being threatened, right? Because them crazy fools, they could have been threatening her family if you say anything. You know what I'm saying? Right.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
It went down.
It definitely did. Definitely did.
What was their names? The Bandries, the Bordries?
I forget.
The family.
Because I remember the mom kept saying, "You'll never be." I forget what it was.
Something would have been.
You'll never be.
Barton.
Yeah, right.
Before we go to the next thing, just real quick, I don't like how Tyler Perry always, and I know he's from Louisiana, right? But I don't like how he always creates these stereotypical, like, all black women in the South ain't mammies. Like, it give them this whole mammy energy, like from Madea down to even this lady, the way she was dressed.
You talking about their mom?
Their mom. Yeah. Why you gotta always do that, bro? I mean, are there women like that? Are there grandmoms and big mamas like that? Absolutely. But I feel like, based upon Madea, he always throw in a little, like, he gonna make us like, not Southern, but almost stupid. Like, we just country as hell.
Oh, okay.
That part I don't like all the time.
Okay.
Like, stop trying to play us out now.
Okay, that's fair.
There's a difference between Southern and country.
Right.
And I think he blurs the line.
Right. I will say, before we jump on the next character, I will say though, they did do a good job with it having a little comic feel to it, and the suspense was still there, because there were some funny scenes, of course, when she said no, leave the casket and pull him out the box. Like, there were some funny scenes there. A couple times I started laughing where I wasn't expecting myself to laugh, because you're watching like a suspense movie. Put his ass on back of that truck like that and drove off. That was hilarious. And he was laying there like this.
And buried him. And apparently they buried other people out there at the house, at the trailer park.
The backyard, like, it was fresh.
That's what I'm saying. I said, man.
They got their own little Graceland.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
So, be illegal.
Well, here's the thing.
You bury nobody in the yard.
You can't.
Well,
I mean, Trump did it.
I mean, it's your property.
Trump did it.
Yeah.
You ain't got to pay taxes on the property no more either.
Oh,
He
that's
turned it into a cemetery. Remember?
That's
He
crazy.
buried the girl's mom on the golf course.
That's a cool mofo.
He sure did. He sure
Know
did.
all the tricks of the trade.
That's a fact. That's
Anyway,
a fact.
all right, forget him.
Yeah. So, so we talked about, and I wrote down the dad, right?
Yeah,
so the
let's
dad
talk about
comes
the
into
dad.
the living room also, and he's, and she never told him either. And one of the things that he shared was, I know something's wrong. I just, to your point, Shay, I don't know to the extent of what's going on because they're just a bad family, right? But he kind of said, like, where's your finish line? And he said, because what I've shown you is how to treat your mother. And, he went down this whole thing. I do this for your mom. I do this for your mom. I don't disrespect her. Like, you've seen it growing up. Like, it's always been like this.
Yeah.
Right. So like one of the things I wrote down is, he showed his daughter how to treat a woman, right? Modeled it throughout her whole life. But to his point, where's the finish line? So where does that break down where she goes and chooses or continues to put up with this behavior? Like, you see it, the model, right? And again, I go back to us as being as parents. We try to model the best behavior we can as possible. Whether you're in a relationship, single, divorced, parents, whatever, you want the best for your children. Right. But when those things happen, you look at yourself as a parent, and then you look at like, what the hell happened? Like, where did I miss it? And I'm sure the dad, that's basically what his question was, like, how? Like, you deserve so much more. You come from a place of love and all of these things. And he didn't even really take it to the pulpit. He was just on some
just real life regular.
Yeah, like, I still lay your mom. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, stop talking. Like, I still lay your mom every. You know what I mean? I show her love.
Yeah.
But like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of what was his question.
Yeah. So I think, and that's a very good point, because I think sometimes we think that these type of things can't happen to people that have grown up in what we would call a normal household, both 2-parent household, dad showing mom love. They model what love is, they model what commitment is, they modeled all of those things. But like he said, this wasn't them. He didn't do those things, to his mom. So I just think that it can happen. It can happen to anybody. You can get yourself caught up out there no matter what your upbringing is.
Yeah, that's true.
You have people. So think about cases where, let's say, siblings brought up in the same household, and we see this often, brought up in the same household. You think they've had the same experiences, but their perception of what happened in their household, is different, right? So you may have one that is doing really, really great, and then you have another one that may have an issue with addiction or whatever the case may be. And he's like, well, what happened to you? We had you both were raised in the same household, right? But that doesn't mean it's going to come out the same.
Yeah.
It really don't. At the end of the day, you're going to make the decisions and choices that you want to make for yourself.
Yeah, I think that and you're right, that happens often, and people, and also help me, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like they were together since like high school or really early in life, right? So I think that for some women, when you grab them really early like that, and if they were virgins, and it's something to be said about this. I don't care, people might disagree, but when you find a woman who has this intimate bond, this love that she's only had for you, and you've all she's known, you have a little more leeway to be an asshole. You have a little more. Your runway is a little bit. Your landing is a little bit longer than the average dude who she's met later in life, because she doesn't have any life experience. She doesn't see that this is, even though her mom and dad modeled it and showed her, that outside force is stronger sometimes than what your parents.
Absolutely.
And that happens like with kids that one may end up on drugs, one is a successful college graduate. Outside forces are powerful, and if you get in a person's head early enough, you can kind of almost overpower what they've learned and what they know in their heart is right from wrong. And I think that may have happened to her. You get them early enough, you can do the manip game.
Yeah.
Well, he was a straight narcissist, so that plays a big part, right? That narcissistic manipulation. You know, that's tough.
She gonna leave.
Yeah,
you beating her.
Yeah.
What do you mean I believe you, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I which leads me into Eva, right?
Yep. Let's get to her.
And I think the thing for her is, again, beautiful woman, and I think you kind of touched on it already, Shay. Like, you just never know. People get into these situations, and leaving is just, you should have leave. So you think about Cassie, you think about, you should have just left. Like, it's not that easy, right?
It's not.
Mental manipulation is a real thing. All of those things are a real thing. One of the things that I did call out for her, though, obviously she's been in, and I keep going to 17 because Benji I waited 17 years, so that's where I pulled that from. But you know, there was abuse, spitting on her, beating on her, obviously. But the other thing that called out for me is, you already saw where he came from.
Off the top.
Off the rip, you already knew where he came from, but you still chose him anyway. Right? So my question is not about necessarily the abuse, because that's, lack of a better way of saying, normal, right? That happens. But what is the we call it red flags, and maybe there should be something else to call it out better. You already see, and sometimes we have to look at where do we see the family dynamic already come from, right? What makes you go jump in that pool, right? Because you see him, and he could be the star athlete and all of those things.
I got it.
But like, damn, him and obviously his mom, they never had a great relationship. You know, killed his daddy. Right, like his brothers, maybe outside of one of them, seemed like he had half some sense. Right. But he even beat his brother's ass and threw him in the car. Right, but like, I'm sure you saw this very early.
You knew there was a family in town that fought all the time.
Yes, but
the Boundary Boys.
But what made you choose that? And I go back to what the dad said. What's your finish line? What made you choose that?
Yeah, yeah. So very, very good question. And basically, it's that saver mentality. And you see this not just in women, but you see this in men as well. Thinking that you can save someone or see the potential in someone. And I always say, you can't see potential in someone that don't see the potential in themselves, because the only thing you're going to end up with is the potential. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to amount to anything if that person does not see that themselves. He was a narcissist, and one of the things with narcissists is they do have a very charming side to them, right? So they didn't really show that much of, they didn't show that at all of him, but their narcissists do have a charming side to them, and that's how they get what they want to get. And once they get you locked in, then you start to see all the realness, right? Right. Yeah. But she was someone, she wanted to fix him up. She got him a job. She made him believe that he can be better than his brothers. She saw something in him. And she thought that loving him enough and helping him get to the place where he needs to be would be enough to change him. But it wasn't. And that's what it is. It's a savior mentality that people have when they go into these type of relationships, always knowing that, you know, there's something wrong. They see the red flags, but they think that they can love them through those red flags.
And may I make a more primitive statement? And then, because we have a comment, I think also it comes down to y'all just like knuckleheads early in the game, for whatever that's worth. Y'all like the dope boys. Y'all like the ones that's riding around with the cars in the rim. And so whatever that is, add that part into all the other dynamics that are in play here.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, in that movie, it was none, because he ain't had nothing.
But he was a knucklehead back, like we say, we didn't see it, but he's a boundary. Whatever he is,
he's that. He's known, right?
Yeah.
Women love to say, I like to feel protected.
Yeah. And the biggest thing was that her parents was against it. So that's going to make someone, especially someone that comes from the church like that, you know, if they're saying, no, you can't be with this person, I don't want you being with it, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go be with that person.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Let me read the comment.
Let's go to the comment.
All right.
To the comment.
Hi, Simone Burke Cousins.
Hey,
hello.
Simone.
Simone said, I mean, he slapped her, I think, on the wedding day. I think that did happen.
The mom did. It was the mom. The mom slapped the bouquet out her hand. Yeah.
The family was mad disrespectful, so there wasn't even a red flag. There was a whole banner waving right there.
That's true.
Like you said, though, there are factors that keep us in situations that aren't the healthiest.
Yeah,
absolutely. The mom with that.
I forgot all about that. The wedding day.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Come on, dog. Wedding's over.
I want to say, I know we got literally, y'all, we got 6 minutes on the show left. This is crazy. I want to jump to this part really quick because this was the powerful moment. And this is when she actually changed, is when her dad showed her videos of herself before she got with him. And then showed her the videos after. And again, when you're in it, you don't even realize, life be lifing, right? As they say, you don't even realize like the transition that your whole life made. Not only that your life made, but your emotions, you as a person, right? When she saw how unhappy she was in those videos and stuff like that, that was her changing moment.
Yeah, that was and then she was done after that. That's a good call out. So real quick, so obviously, I did put in here under her as well, the antagonizing. I don't encourage no woman to do what she did at that end and go to the house. This wasn't enough, right? You go to the house and wait for him to come there. He beats you up so you can get the scars. He literally could have just killed you. He pulled the gun out.
That was a risky move.
Come on. That I guess that was the movie part.
That's
right?
always the ending of those type of movies.
For sure. Right. So that, don't antagonize.
J-Lo did the same thing.
Yeah, enough, right? Yeah. So like, antagonizing. And at the end of the day, you have to know when to stand down and step off. Right. You have to buy your time and you have to stop all of the I'm just gonna be strong and I'm gonna stand up to him, because it could really go left really quickly. You know what I mean? So that's something that I'm cautious of, because it may not be to that extreme, but a man or maybe even a woman, because it could get real for women too, right?
Absolutely.
And tell you to get out my face.
Yeah,
get out the face. You have to play that smart.
Absolutely.
Sometimes standing up and pushing back to that always is a thing. And here's the thing: that's something we see in our community all the time. I remember the back and forth. I'm standing. I'm strong, and I'm this and I'm that. Just like the friend was doing.
Right. The friend was typical.
She was hilarious.
Yes.
She was like, I don't give a F about this job.
Yeah, in the job. Nobody came out the office. Yeah, that was the movie part. I'm like, all right, nobody came out the office.
That was hilarious.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
come on now.
Man, that was hilarious. It was. But I think that here's the problem. Seriously. In abuse, with that type of abuse, okay, they got a restraining order. The restraining orders don't mean nothing. No. People are still gonna do what they want to do. If they want to come at you, they still gonna come at you, right? But I think they ended it that way because they showed that was the only way he was going to stop.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the only way he was going to stop. The cops wasn't going to protect her. The restraining order was in place. That wasn't going to help.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah,
but that was the only way that she was going to be able to take control, because he wasn't going to stop.
Yeah, for sure.
Simone says we all need a friend like that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a fact. She was about it. Real quick, so I know we kind of went through the movie. I know we had like 2 minutes left. I did get to a place where I was just like, all right, yo, like, for us as Black people, we have to stop our shit. What do we want Tyler Perry really to do? Here's the thing. What kind of movie do you want him to make that's going to satisfy us to be like, oh my God, he represented us the right way? We've seen multiple movies where he's depicted Black women in a good way, right? And here's the thing. Doesn't mean that there's not a struggle or there's a dynamic that's less flavorable, but every character is not this and every character is not that. We don't criticize nobody else for making these type of movies, but when it comes to us as Black people, it's Tyler Perry. It's all the billionaires. We just can't be satisfied, right? Like, it has to be something, right? And the reason why I say that is because he's not Black enough. He's gay,
right?
He likes to put in dresses on. This man is employing so many. How many of these people have said he's paid me the most that I've ever made in a movie, right? Or the amount of jobs that he's employing some of us. We don't really talk about that, or the people that he's inspiring. You think about what 50 is doing. I forget where is it. I don't know if it's Louisiana or not. It's down south somewhere. Or he's opening up his own studio, just like Tyler Perry, and they met. Wow. Right. So same thing.
Wow.
He's doing right. So think about he brought Monique back. Right. Like all of these things are happening. The level that Monique went and is talking about him and some of the people. Like, what do we really want?
I don't think we know, because I think so. Look at it like this. I think that where 50 is celebrated for portraying us in a gangster, killer, thug, drug dealer, kingpin ways, Tyler Perry does none of that.
Right.
And like you say, there are plenty of characters. Excuse me, black women that he depicts. They're lawyers. They're in high positions.
Yeah.
And we just, I don't know. I think first of all, in our community, to be honest, I think there's a large portion of us that just don't like to see us in a positive light.
For sure.
Think about when the Cosby's came on. Oh, that ain't real. We ain't no black lawyers. Ain't no black. I think this is just kind of who we are not as a whole, but a segment of our population. That's just who we are.
Or
we like the bullshit all the time.
Or is he consistently putting the mirror in our face and say, "Look at this"?
I think that happens also.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, sweetie. Like I understand you don't want to be looked at in this house dress, but how many women you go to Wawa and wear these damn bonnets every day?
Every day. Bro, at my job, they drop the kids off every day in
pajamas, slippers.
Like, you don't
y'all the same one in the comments. Oh my God, I can't believe.
I ain't gonna roll.
We got another comment. Hold on before we head out. Simone says, "I appreciate Tyler and what he brings. It's a niche area. We can't please everyone. I think he shows the good, the bad, and the ugly."
Right.
True that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it? Is that your wrap up?
Yeah, I had more, but we good.
Okay.
We had time.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for bringing it for the topic tonight. Yeah. Those of you that was watching it, and I told you guys it was going to be a spoiler alert, so I'm sorry. I gave you a heads up.
You don't know the end,
but you know, yeah. But go back and watch the movie. I watched it twice. The second time I saw other things that I didn't see the first time. So we could have this conversation tonight. So go back and check it out. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in tonight. Every Monday night we are here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you have not done so, make sure that you go to rebirthyou.com. Okay. We are going to be posting all of our upcoming events. Rebirth Live is coming October 26th. And of course, the Rebirth Meetup. Like I said, we are 2 tickets away from being sold out, and they may be gone by now. But that's coming up this Saturday. And then I have a big announcement coming up. I will be making soon. So make sure that you continue to follow us on all social media platforms.
All right.
Anything for you?
No, I'm proud of it. Now, I know the announcement you're gonna make, and the fact that you're gonna get your left foot straight. You got polio as a kid. I'm proud of you for finally taking it.
You know what?
That's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. We're coming back healthy and whole. We are the Rebirth Show. Peace.
Peace. Have a good week, guys.
Y'all later.